We all know that feeling, right? When a catchy pop song just takes over your brain and you can't stop humming it for days.
Mm.
But have you ever stopped to think about what actually makes a pop song a hit?
It's really interesting,
It's
actually.
got to be more than just a good beat, right?
Yeah. It's really fascinating how often we dismiss pop music.
Yeah,
Like it's just this formulaic thing.
totally.
But then when you actually start to like peel back the layers,
Yeah.
there's so much strategy and
Taste
creativity
it.
and even like cultural relevance baked into it.
I'm so ready to unpack all of that. But I'm guessing, like at the core, it's still got to start with a really strong song.
Oh, absolutely.
But even that, I'm guessing, is not as simple as it seems.
Right. Like you think about it and you're like, oh, write a hit song. Easier said than done.
Right.
And the article that you shared actually breaks this down so well.
Okay.
It all starts with that really strong hook.
Okay.
You know, that like instantly recognizable melody or
Yeah.
that lyrical phrase that
Just
just,
stuck in your head.
yes, it burrows into your brain. You know, like those iconic opening riffs
Oh, yeah.
or those
Okay.
choruses that you just can't get out of your head?
Oh, absolutely. Like that one song. You know, the
Yes,
one, it's like everywhere right now.
exactly.
Mm.
Musically speaking, those hooks often use really specific intervals,
Wow.
like perfect fifths, major thirds.
Interesting.
They create this natural resonance
Oh,
that our brains are basically hardwired to find really pleasing.
is that why some songs just feel instantly like familiar or comforting? Like
Yes.
because of those intervals and stuff?
It's like we're pre-programmed to enjoy those sounds.
Wow.
But it takes more than just a catchy chorus.
Right.
Lyrics play a huge role too.
Oh,
And it's
dude.
not just about rhyming love and dove these days.
I was going to say some of my favorite pop songs have surprisingly deep lyrics.
Yes.
It's like this whole other layer to it. It's like,
Yes.
whoa.
The best pop lyrics, they either tap into those shared emotions, anxieties, or they tell really relatable stories. Or even like use really clever wordplay.
Yeah.
There's this huge difference between like just like generic lovey-dovey phrases
Totally.
and then lyrics that actually capture like a very specific feeling
Totally.
of like longing or heartbreak.
Oh, I totally agree. And I think that's why I connect with certain artists so strongly.
Yeah.
It's because their lyrics just feel so raw and honest, even when they're dealing with difficult emotions.
Yes. That realness is so important.
Yeah.
But we can't forget that there's this whole other side of the coin.
Right.
There's a lot that happens between an artist writing those lyrics in their bedroom
Yeah.
and that song ending up on your playlist.
It's like this whole world we don't see. What's going on behind the scenes in the music industry?
Oh, it's a machine.
Yeah,
A
yeah.
well-oiled machine.
Right.
Take production, for example. It's not just about making a song sound good.
Okay.
It's about making it feel a certain way. Producers use instrumentation, vocal effects, arrangements, tempo
Right.
to shape the entire emotional landscape of that song.
It's true.
Think about the difference between a stripped-down acoustic ballad
Yeah.
and a high-energy EDM track. Potentially, same lyrics,
Right.
but completely different impact.
That is so true.
Right.
I never thought about it like that, but production is like its own language,
It is.
and it can totally change the way you experience a song.
Absolutely. And then you add branding on top of that, which is huge in today's music scene.
Okay.
It's not enough to just release great music anymore.
Right.
Artists have to craft a persona, right? So their visuals, their social media presence, even down to their fashion choices.
Right.
All of that contributes to this carefully constructed image
Totally.
that's designed to resonate with a specific audience.
It's like they're creating a whole universe around their music now,
Exactly.
which makes sense in the age of social media.
It does.
But, okay, so with so much music out there, how do people even hear these songs in the first place?
That's where marketing comes in. Because even the best song in the world needs a little help getting heard. We're talking playlist placements, targeted ad campaigns, social media strategies,
Right.
influencer collaborations.
The lot.
It's a whole science dedicated to just getting that music in front of the right ears at the right time.
Right. So those top 100 charts we see,
Yes.
those involve a lot more strategy than we probably realize.
It's more than just, oh, this is a good song.
Right.
There's a lot that goes into it.
Okay.
But even with all that strategy, there's still those X factors.
Oh, okay, here we go.
These unpredictable elements that can make or break a song's success.
This is what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
What are those elements that even music industry veterans can't predict?
It's like there's this certain magic to it, you know?
Okay.
One of the biggest X factors is timing
Okay.
and cultural relevance. You get some songs that they just hit at the perfect moment.
Right.
They capture a feeling that's like in the air,
Totally.
or they tap into a cultural conversation that people are having.
Yeah, like they become the soundtrack
Yes.
to a specific moment in time.
Yes. Think about those anthems that get adopted by social movements, or
Mhm.
like breakup songs that just resonate because it feels like everyone's going through heartbreak at the same time.
It's so powerful.
It is.
Were there any examples from the article that come to mind?
Yeah, there's actually a really good one. The article talked about how song title
Okay.
became this unexpected anthem
Yep.
for social movement cultural moment.
Wow.
And it wasn't even written with that intention at all.
Wow.
It just resonated with what people were feeling at that time.
Wow.
And it just exploded.
That's such a good example of how you just can't manufacture timing.
No, you can't.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, you have the artist's persona
Okay.
and the question of authenticity.
Right, because we talked about branding and stuff.
Exactly.
But there's a fine line between like crafting an image and being authentic.
Totally.
Because fans can spot a fake a mile away.
A mile away.
Right.
And I think the artists that resonate most are the ones that feel relatable. Even if their lives are completely different from our own,
Yes.
it's about vulnerability, right?
Okay.
Honesty in their music and connecting with fans on a human level.
So it's like being aspirational but relatable at the same time.
Yes. It's a tough needle to thread.
It is?
And then we can't forget about collaborations.
Oh, yeah.
Huge in pop music these days.
It's like every other song on the charts
I know.
is a collaboration.
It makes sense, though, right? Because you're bringing two artists together.
Yeah.
Especially if they're from different genres, they have different fan bases.
Yeah.
You're just exposing that song to so many more people.
Right. But it's not even just about the numbers.
No.
It's like it can actually lead to really cool creative stuff
Of course.
that wouldn't have happened otherwise.
It's like this creative synergy
Totally.
that happens.
You know what? You're right.
Right.
Some of my favorite musical discoveries have come from a collaboration.
Yeah.
And then I go and check out the other artist.
It's a win-win for everyone.
It is.
Speaking of evolution, though, and how music has changed, how we consume music has drastically changed things, hasn't it?
100%. Streaming has got to be huge.
Huge. And I think one of the biggest shifts is how important visuals are.
Okay.
Music videos aren't just this fun little bonus anymore.
Right.
They're essential.
Okay.
They're essential for telling the story, reinforcing that brand that we talked about.
It's true. I feel like I find new music that way all the time now.
All the time.
Just visually. Like if something catches my eye and I vibe with it, then I'll listen to the song.
Especially on platforms like TikTok.
Yes.
Like things go viral instantly.
Yeah.
And it's all driven by those visuals.
Okay. Yeah.
And then there's the big one.
Okay.
We can't forget about the algorithm,
Oh, yeah, that's right.
the streaming algorithm.
Okay. Explain that one to me. Like I'm 5. How does that even work?
So basically, these streaming platforms,
Yeah.
they track everything.
Oh, I'm sure. All the data.
Everything.
Yeah.
What you listen to, how long you listen to it, what you skip, what time of day you're listening.
It's creepy, but also impressive.
It's a little bit of both.
Yeah.
But they use all of this data
Yeah.
to create these hyper-personalized recommendations
Right.
and curate playlists that are designed to keep you on their platform.
So how does an artist even get on one of those playlists? Like, how do you become algorithm friendly?
That is the million-dollar question.
Right.
It's kind of a science and a mystery, to be honest.
Yeah.
But in general, songs with really high listen-through rates,
Go.
so that means people listen to the whole song,
Okay.
lots of saves, lots of shares,
Okay.
those are the ones that are going to be favored.
So it's almost like the algorithm is the new record executive with the gut feeling,
Yes,
but it's data-driven
it is.
instead of just like a hunch, so to speak.
But it does make you wonder, though, right? If it's all about these algorithms and these playlists,
Yeah.
how are new artists even supposed to break through anymore?
That's what I was just thinking. It's like a double-edged sword.
It is.
Yeah.
Because on one hand,
Yeah.
it's incredible for artists that might not have had a chance in the old system.
Right.
You know, a song can go viral on TikTok
Totally.
and reach millions of ears organically, right?
Right.
But then on the other hand,
It makes it harder for those who are trying to break through.
it does.
Yeah.
So it's a tough one.
So with all these factors in play, the creative process, all the stuff that goes on behind the scenes,
Yes.
the unpredictable X factors, this new world of streaming,
Right.
what does the future of pop music even look like? Like, how do you even predict that?
Right. If there's one thing we know about pop music, it's that it's constantly evolving.
It's true.
But I think based on everything we talked about,
Yeah.
authenticity,
Yeah.
innovation, and connecting with fans on a personal level,
Right.
those are going to be more important than ever.
It's like you have to play the algorithm game without looking like you're playing the game.
Exactly. Because at the end of the day, pop music, it's still about emotion.
Right.
It's about connecting with something real, even if that realness is carefully curated.
Yeah.
And that's what makes it so fascinating to unpack.
It's like that saying, the best magic trick is the one you don't see coming. That feels like pop music in a nutshell now.
Totally. And that's what's so cool about this conversation.
Yeah.
Like, we've totally pulled back the curtain.
Yeah.
We've seen how the sausage gets made, so to speak.
Right.
But it hasn't, like, ruined the magic of the music.
No, not at all.
Like, it still has that power.
Yeah. And going into this, I thought it was just going to be like, oh, catchy hooks, repetitive beats, that's it.
Right. Exactly.
But there's so much more to it.
There really is. There's a surprising amount of depth and complexity.
Yeah.
It's almost like if you think about a really beautifully crafted watch,
Right.
like you can admire it for its beauty on the surface,
Right.
but then when you actually understand the intricate mechanisms
Yeah.
that are going on underneath,
Right.
it gives you this whole other level of appreciation.
That's such a good analogy.
Yeah.
Okay, but going back to authenticity, because we've
Yeah.
talked a lot about that.
Yes.
With everything that's in play now,
Yeah.
the branding, the algorithms, the collaborations,
Right.
is genuine authenticity even possible anymore? Or is it all just like calculated?
It's the question, isn't it? Like the age-old question.
Right.
It's almost like a paradox.
Yeah.
Because to succeed, you have to play the game,
Right.
but you can't look like you're playing the game.
Yeah.
So it's like finding that sweet spot between strategic brilliance
Right.
and actual artistry.
So as a listener, how do you even unpack that?
I mean, that's kind of the beauty of it, right?
Yeah.
It's this ongoing conversation.
Yeah.
And every song offers a new perspective on that question. So I think like the next time you hear one of those pop songs that just grabs you,
Yeah.
take a second, think about everything we've talked about. Think
Yeah.
about the lyrics, think about the production, the artist's whole persona, all of it.
Right.
All those elements that come together to create that feeling. Is it manufactured? Maybe. Is it genuine? Maybe. But does it even matter?
Right.
If it's making you feel something.
Yeah, like as long as it moves you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like maybe it's not about labeling it one way or the other.
Right. Yeah.
But it's about appreciating that artistry
Yeah.
and the impact that it has,
I love that.
regardless of how it got there.
I love that point. It's about the experience.
Right.
And like you said, the feeling, the conversation that it sparks.
Exactly.
This has been so interesting. I feel like I have homework now every time I listen to a new song,
There's always more to discover.
which is awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for this. It's been amazing.
Of course, this was fun.
Yeah. Thanks for taking a deep dive with us.